Egypt and Qatar reaffirm support for Arab plan to rebuild Gaza. Egypt and Qatar to advance $7 billion in Qatari investments package. Egypt launches a 30 billion Egyptian initiative to finance high-priority industrial sectors. Egypt and Qatar have reaffirmed their support for the Arab plan to reconstruct the Gaza Strip, emphasizing the need to prevent the displacement of Palestinians. The announcement came following talks between President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and Qatari Emir Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani at the Al Amiri Diwan in Doha during President al-Sisi's official visit to the Gulf. The two leaders also discussed efforts to strengthen bilateral relations with a particular focus on trade and Qatari investments in Egypt. Regional developments were also on the agenda, including the Gaza ceasefire, humanitarian aid delivery, and detainee exchange efforts. Both sides reiterated the importance of maintaining stability and unity in Syria, Lebanon, and Sudan. Egypt and Qatar have reaffirmed their strong support for the rights of the Palestinian people, including the establishment of an independent state. In a joint statement, both countries emphasized the importance of Palestinian national reconciliation, unity, and the activation of state institutions to fulfill the aspirations of the Palestinian people. The two sides also reiterated their full support for the Gaza reconstruction plan and expressed anticipation for an upcoming international conference set to be hosted by Egypt in coordination with its partners. Egypt has condemned the recent attacks on the Zamzam camp for internally displaced persons in El Fasher, the capital of North Darfur state. In a statement issued by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Egypt denounced the grave violations of international humanitarian law that led to the deaths of Sudanese civilians and several staff members of an international relief organization. It also underscored the necessity of safeguarding humanitarian workers and ensuring that they are not targeted, reaffirming its unwavering position. Egypt's Minister of Water Resources and Irrigation, Dr. Hani Swalem, outlined the severe water challenges facing the Middle East, one of the world's direst regions, during the opening session of the 11th World Water Forum's preparatory meeting held in Saudi Arabia. Dr. Swalem said that Egypt receives less than 18 millimeters of annual rainfall and relies almost entirely on the Nile River for its water needs. He warned that climate change is exacerbating both local and regional vulnerabilities, including water scarcity and desertification. He further highlighted a looming global crisis, noting that demand for fresh water is projected to exceed supply by 40% by 2030, leaving 1.6 billion people without access to safe drinking water. He called for accelerated international action to guarantee access to essential services like drinking water, food, and sanitation, stressing that water security must be central to all related policymaking. Labour Minister Mohammed Gubran has received his Turkish counterpart Vedat Işıkhan and an accompanying delegation to discuss issues of mutual interest. The two sides reaffirmed the strong historical and strategic ties between Egypt and Turkey, as well as the commitment of both leaderships to deepen bilateral cooperation. Discussions focused on enhancing collaboration through a joint committee to implement the Memorandum of Understanding signed during President Sisi's visit to Turkey in September 2024. Talks also explored opportunities for Egyptian seasonal labor in Turkey and measures to ease work and residency procedures for Turkish nationals in Egypt. Minister of Civil Aviation Dr. Sameh Al-Hifni met with Dr. Abdullah Al-Mandous, President of the World Meteorological Organization WMO, to discuss expanding technical cooperation and capacity building in meteorology across Egypt and Africa. During talks held at the ministry's headquarters in Cairo, both sides explored data sharing mechanisms, joint training programs, and plans to modernize weather infrastructure. Dr. Al-Hifni emphasized Egypt's commitment to upgrading its national meteorological authority, noting the crucial role it plays in securing aviation safety amid accelerating climate challenges. The meeting underlined the importance of international collaboration in updating Egypt's meteorological systems. Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli has issued a decree declaring Monday, April the 21st, 2025 as an official paid holiday in observance of Sham el-Nissim occasion. Additionally, the Prime Minister announced that Thursday, April 24th, 2025 will be an official paid holiday for employees in the same entities, replacing Friday, April the 25th, 2025 in celebration of Sinai Liberation Day. Furthermore, Thursday, May the 1st, 2025 has been designated as an official paid holiday in commemoration of Labor Day. Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli held a meeting to review the execution status of works at the archaeological site of the pyramids and plans to revitalize the Nazlet al-Simman area as a tourist destination. The Prime Minister began the meeting by stressing the importance of the ongoing work at the pyramids and Nazlet al-Simman, given the area's unique historical and archaeological value. He emphasized the need to prioritize its preservation and improve services for both local and international visitors. Dr. Madbouli called on ministries and relevant bodies to coordinate efforts and follow the set plan to ensure successful trial operation, aiming to offer an exceptional and accessible tourism experience. Cairo University has officially established its first ever company to manage and commercialize its intellectual assets. The new enterprise, announced under the leadership of University President Dr. Mohammed Sami Abdel Sadiq, aims to transform research output and creative innovation into economically viable products and services. The initiative seeks to bridge the gap between academia and industry and is aligned with Egypt's Science and Innovation Incentives Law number 23 of 2018. The company will support faculty and researchers in protecting intellectual property, promoting entrepreneurship, and forming strategic partnerships with public and private sector entities within an innovation-driven, sustainable institutional framework. The Egyptian presidency has announced that Egypt and Qatar have agreed to work towards a direct Qatari investment package worth $7.5 billion. The agreement was reached during President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi's visit to Doha, where he urged Qatari companies and business leaders to expand their investments in Egypt. President al-Sisi emphasized the wide range of investment opportunities available across key sectors, including communications and information technology, transformative industries, renewable energy, and tourism. Egypt's Minister of Investment and Foreign Trade, Engineer Hassan Al-Khatib, also noted that Egypt has invested around $550 billion over the past decade to develop and modernize its infrastructure. Trade between Egypt and Qatar has climbed to $128.4 million in 2024, up from $72.1 million the previous year. Egyptian exports to Qatar reached $93.4 million, nearly doubling from $44.3 million in 2023. Key exports included vegetables and fruits valued at $38 million, electrical machinery at $8 million, and prepared fruits and vegetables at $6 million. Cocoa products and various food preparations contributed an additional $10 million. Meanwhile, Egypt's imports from Qatar increased to $35 million compared to $27.8 million in the previous year. The CEO of the General Authority for Investment and Free Zones, GAFI, Hussam Hiba, has witnessed the signing of 4 investment agreements between the Egyptian and Saudi business communities across sectors including investment promotion, food industries, solar energy, metal industries, and real estate development and marketing. The first MOU aims to attract foreign investment to Egypt in sectors such as poultry production, agri-food processing, education, real estate development, and the export of Egyptian products to global markets. The second MOU outlines plans to establish a 10,000 square meters factory for aluminium cladding panels with an annual production capacity of 3.6 million square meters. The third MOU focuses on the marketing, sale, and installation of solar panels and accessories in both Egypt and Saudi Arabia. The fourth MOU outlines joint cooperation in managing and developing real estate marketing and development operations. Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli has said that the state is proceeding with the economic reform program, especially with regards to adopting a flexible exchange rate policy. Madbouli, in a meeting with the Arab Fund for Economic and Social Development, highlighted government efforts to boost manufacturing and exports in sectors like pharmaceuticals, textiles, IT, entrepreneurship, food, and petrochemicals. The talks also cover the economic impact of regional and global crises. The Ministry of Industry has officially launched the first phase of national initiative designed to finance high-priority industrial sectors with a budget of 30 billion Egyptian pounds allocated to the private sector. This phase focuses on supporting the purchase of machinery, equipment, and production lines through long-term financing at a reduced interest rate. Investors will benefit from a fixed annual interest rate of 15% over 5 years, with the Ministry of Finance covering the difference in returns. The initiative targets a wide range of industrial sectors with a special emphasis on those offering high value added potential and localization opportunities. Minister of Petroleum and Mineral Resources Karim Badawi has met with Luigi Wu, founder and CEO of Zaimi Resources Holding in China, along with his accompanying delegation to explore investment opportunities in the Egyptian mining sector. Badawi emphasized the ministry's commitment to forge a robust partnership with the company in the mining sector, underscoring the ministry's focus on this sector and working on developing it through reform programs, regulations to facilitate investments and boost competitiveness. For their part, the company officials reaffirmed their keen interest in investing in Egypt's mining sector. And this brings us to the end of our news bulletin. Here is what we have been covering. Egypt and Qatar reaffirm support for Arab plan to rebuild Gaza. Egypt and Qatar agreed to advance $7.5 billion in Qatari investments package. And Egypt launches a 30 billion Egyptian pounds initiative to finance high priority industrial sectors. And that's all for now. Remember to stay updated by following Q News for the latest developments. I'm Halal Hamalawi. Thank you very much for watching.